Hey everyone, Paul Pedrazzi with CA Design here with Albert and Mike. And we're here at CA World. This is actually the first time that we have a design zone specifically set up at CA World, our event in Las Vegas going on right now. So pretty exciting time for us. We've got a big group down here. We're spending a lot of time talking to customers, working through problems on the whiteboards, as you can see. We got some IoT over in the corner and a whole set of tech talks going on right now around different design topics. Design being something that you can use at all types of the business. So pretty exciting time for us. And maybe Albert, maybe we can start is talking about, when you think about enterprise software versus say consumer software and this sense of design, what's your perspective on that? What have you seen out there? Why is that interesting to you?
Yeah, I think what's great, right, is that there's such an opportunity in enterprise that it represents sort of untapped opportunity, especially when it comes to design, right? I think we're all familiar with, the Googles, the Apples, the Amazons of the world. They've nailed the customer experience almost like art, and you don't really see that in enterprise, right? But as we've seen from a lot of the talks today and a lot of the conversations I'm hearing with our customers, there's huge interest in being able to leverage some of that thinking, that approach, some of that customer love, frankly, right? And seeing what can we leverage, what can we bring into enterprise to generate that same type of everything from efficiency to effectiveness, right, to having very hopefully profound business impact through design in the enterprise space.
Yeah, so it's an amazing time, I think, for that. I think the challenge, this shift that you talked about, like taking some of the consumer DNA and bringing it to the enterprise. It's certainly tough for enterprise companies to do. We've started to make that transition. Other groups like IBM have actually done a really admirable job making design to the forefront. So there is some momentum here. And Mike, maybe I'd ask you a question on this front, because one of the things that is tough is that transition, right? And you go from this old world of what I might call old world software development of we're going to take a list of features and go build them. And I imagine in this new world, it's a very different mode of operating. So what is the shift? Like, how do companies need to act differently rather than just saying we all want to embrace design? What do we have to do differently to actually build designful products?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, first of all, is understanding that design is just problem solving, right? And getting to the root of problems, and not so much just making things look prettier, right? And that's what CA has always been in the business of doing, is solving problems. What we're doing is bringing a lot of methods around understanding people's behavior, understanding their motivations, understanding what they're truly doing. So like when we go to customers, they're building a service and they're trying to get that service in the hands of their consumer, right? So first of all is understanding that and really getting in the shoes of the customer, their strategy, their outcomes, and how do their teams work together to get there. So I would say, the transition here is really about more connecting to that, the behavior and the motivation and things like that. Beautiful products will come out of that, but really we're just continuing the legacy of CA in terms of solving problems in a customer-centric way. So.
That's great. I guess what I would say, kind of to build on that, is this idea of design thinking, which has been popularized. We're talking about like how do you focus on the problem and maybe not on a product specifically, is such a powerful lens. And so I guess the thing I would leave the group with is that design isn't just for software, just for product. Design is more of this mindset and approach, and going in with questions rather than answers, right? I always think about it, if you want to take something new, you have to let go of something first. And that's a very different model for people. And so take that with you on this journey, whatever problem you're trying to solve. If you're in a support group, if you're like a services organization, or IT or finance or something like that, you can use design thinking in what you do. It's not just for software. So really go in with that open mind. If you get a chance and you're in Las Vegas, come by the design zone, say hi, and we'll share what we've learned along the way and maybe learn from you as well. So thanks for taking the time to talk to us.